And a boom. Alright, there we go. Everyone can see the stream can see them, yada yada yada. Good, all good here. Alright, so. Unfortunately, we just lost Simon. Simon disappeared, died, whatever the internet does on his side. Other than that, Sam will be here soon. But we will quickly do a quick sound test. So, I just got a text back from Simon saying, yeah, it did that yesterday as well. Should be back very soon. Alright, cool. We'll have him back in a minute. So, Infernal.
Hello.
Sudz.
Hello.
Harlan.
Hello.
Okay, and then there's obviously me. And hopefully the music isn't too loud, and that should be okay. So I'll wait and see. It's my getting word back. Let's see. Just as a repeat, Infernal.
Hello.
Sudz.
Hello.
And Harlan.
Hello.
Alright, I'm going to also quickly turn off the ballad. I said turn off the ballad! There we go. Do as I say, please. Not as I do. All okay so far, music is at a good level. Alright, good. So now we just got to wait for Simon and Sam to get here. Which hopefully shouldn't be too long. Last time Simon disconnected, he was maybe 2 minutes or so. And Sam said he'd be 10-15 minutes late, so he should be here soon.
Last time I disconnected, it was 6 hours.
Yeah, well, that's you, Infernal. It's very different on your end.
Yes, it is.
For those interested, here is the map. It is slightly updated. It is just the Empire at the moment, as opposed to everything else. Name of towns, name of locations, and so on. So, Harlan, this is the Dwarven cities in the Iron Top Mountains. That's the capital,
Yeah, so
Oregon. This is where you currently
on the
are.
Oregon Trail. Now, would you say? Now, the capital, that's like the center of the empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would there be a lot of dwarves there, do you think, or?
There's a lot of every kind of race, mostly humans, though.
Mm-hmm.
Humans tend to dwell in these 4 cities the most, and a little bit in Golodon.
Okay,
But otherwise,
so this area is the dwarven, like...
Dwarven region, Elven city, and a few Elven regions up here. Then over in these regions you get a mix, and then above here you get a mix, with the exception of up north where you get a few more Goliaths and lizard folk living.
Okie doke.
Yeah. Other than that,
Maverick guy was here, right?
Huh?
Maverick guy.
he was somewhere here. Somewhere here in the center somewhere. You're not sure where, somewhere.
I mean, if everyone's okay with it, I'd like to head down to the towards the dwarven areas, and from there we could probably get good passage up into Africa.
What about we go from here and then go down?
I mean, also fine. It's just I don't know. I was planning to get geared up in the with the dwarves and then go up.
Yeah, just so you're aware, the dotted lines means that it goes underground. Hello, Sam. No, Sam,
Hello,
quick sound test. Say hello. Oh, wait, no, Harlan,
Hello.
sorry. Oh, wait, no, you're both here.
Hello.
No, Simon's here as well. Alright,
Yeah,
so,
I just got...
What? I'm confused.
Simon and Sam both got here at the same time. We didn't notice. Alright, so Sam.
What? Yes, hello.
And Simon. Simon?
Disconnected again.
Again. Is he gone again?
Hmm?
Yeah,
I think I have. Well, I don't know what's happening here.
Ah, Simon.
Oh, is it behind, or can you hear us?
I just heard you say that, so
Okay.
you tell me what delay there is.
Sound test?
Yeah. What kind of volume? Is that good?
I don't know.
What needs doing? Okay, well,
That should be fine.
I'll just keep
Alright,
talking
let's...
until you... Okay.
No, that's fine. I'm going to see what Jamie says. Both of them. Alright, all okay. Good to know. Thank you very much. Alrighty then. So we have everybody, technically.
Get me a sec.
Technically.
I know. But I said technically.
Technical.
Yep.
It's all very technical.
Indeed. Very rough start. But yes, so yeah, I mean you can head down, but the dotted lines means that it goes underground. The path. These are just main roads, naturally known roads that you know about. That's why there aren't any over here, because you don't know about them yet. True, different people have travelled different areas. They may have objectively travelled to the capital, or they know where stuff is from. But
Wait. So the dotted lines are underground.
yes, yes, that is supposed to
The
be.
underground area that's like here, is that dwarven at all? Like, would I know about that existence?
Well, you know about its existence, which is why it's on the map, but you don't know the area. You haven't been there before.
Right. Okay.
I'm getting a tiny amount of feedback from something. Or I was.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just like a delay when after someone talks. There's like a short period where there's like a tiny delay.
Huh.
Yeah, strange.
Bloody hell.
Oh well, it's fine. It's not going to be it's hopefully not going to be noticeable when the sound is playing.
Mhm.
And the music and. Right, so we've got everybody in here, or Sam, you still setting up?
I'm just entering the password now.
All right, okie doke. All right, cool. That works for me. Righty then. So, while that's getting on, don't really have any announcements other than actually no, I do have a few. One, it is my birthday, but that is fine. I'm going to ignore that. No one needs to know my age. I'm getting
Merry
old.
birthday.
He's 35.
3,000 years old.
No, Infernal. If I'm anything, I'm the age of our dwarves.
Oh,
You're
shit.
disgusting.
He's 69 years old, guys.
Only Infernal would say that. Or 420. I can't remember how long dwarves live. Anyway.
350.
Oh, that's a shame.
With
You
hell,
want
you are fucking
all
awesome.
that dwarf.
Oh, we could have just been elves and had we could be like 420.
We'd smoke some
We're
weed.
changing characters now.
Wait, we can still be
Simon,
360. We can
secretly
just
a
be a
dwarf.
bunch of old farts for dwarves. Because the average lifespan is 350.
Okay then.
Alright, so.
Oh, fuck's sake.
We need to change our entire backstory, but it's fine.
Anyway, so. Yes, regardless of where you are, thank you for watching. Yeah, other than that, I think it's Thursday. I've got a new D&D sessions coming out where I will be going with a few of some of my old friends, reconnecting with a few of them. It's Fraser, Liam, Infernal, and Sudz. They joined at their own volition. They didn't have to. They chose to. So it's their own fault if they
Now
get
they
mixed
shall
up.
pay
He's
their
one
price.
gun to my head.
Yeah, same here.
It's fine. I'll be explaining which characters you actually have so that it keeps everything alright. And other than that, thank you to Tabletop Audio for all the sound that they give us. And the fact that they are updating it. Like I've got a dark jungle coming out, guys, which means I got dinosaur sounds. Effectively, yeah.
Does that mean we can have
I
dinosaurs?
think Harlan already.
That was fucking spectacular.
You might not believe it, but that wasn't actually a dinosaur.
That was Harlan.
It was a squirrel.
Actually, no.
Squirrel!
I can believe Harlan is actually a dinosaur.
Hey.
I
I'm
couldn't
not
believe he was a
a
squirrel.
real dinosaur.
And dinosaur, like, come on, dinosaurs wouldn't have gone extinct if it weren't for the whole wish for more wishes thing. We all know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
There's always one dinosaur left at the top who just lives forever. But you know what?
He got all them wishes.
That's Harlan. Harlan killed the dinosaurs.
Oh man.
Confirm.
Okay, let's be honest here. I didn't kill them. They just displeased me and that caused them to die.
Anyway,
So they killed themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No. Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll go with that. Anyway, also, thank you to Zenosa for the art. Go check her out. She's had a lot of busy work on her hands after, let's say, a few people went over and have commissioned a lot of stuff. I don't know whether any people have been going over due to me, but oh well. So thank you
We
on
have
that,
probably
on
not.
that front. And Sam, you're not streaming your D&D, are you?
No.
No. All right, never mind. But
I'm
no,
gonna be doing.
but send your hopes and virtual hugs to Sam.
Please. They're terrifying me just for the characters they've made and the magical items that they're starting with.
You turned around to us and said,
I
"All right,
mean,
guys, there
I'll
isn't
be
much
honest.
magic in the world, and now you have 4 out
And
of
now
5
I haven't.
casters."
4 casters and a barbarian. Thank you, Infernal. Thank you. I love you.
Question. Sam, at the end of this, can I steal you for a bit to talk about my character?
Yeah, sure. I was
Cool,
actually
cool.
planning to catch you anyway to talk about your character, so fuck it.
Yeah,
Cool.
either one works.
Yeah, and I need to discuss
Yes.
ideas about my item because I need to finish that off.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm
Guys,
wondering if I
guys,
shouldn't
guys.
try. And
But anyway,
unload my-
yeah, we won't.
I
yeah,
hate to say it, but this is Chris's stream.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
We can
yeah,
talk about
right.
this later. Okay?
Yeah.
Possibly pop me a message.
Yes.
Magical, really.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
It's
So,
okay.
Thank-
without any further ado, we will get into this. So, last session. Hold on. Let me put some music on. Let's put what do you guys want for basic music? Let's see.
Something dramatic.
All for tuna.
Wait, did you say or tuna?
Old
Old.
Fortune.
All for tuna.
Old. Wait. I'm either
Old
missing
Fortuna.
Old Fortuna. We don't have that. But anyway.
All Star by Smash Mouth. Close enough.
Let's just put that
You
on.
can use your imagination.
Alright, so. Last session, our party of adventurers, Sasha, Queglod, Elsyan, Bhold, and Malcom, relaxed for the first time in a while, where they spoke to the Baroness, receiving their rewards, as well as Bhold getting himself asked for a friendly spar match with the Baroness Payne. After Elsyan had a shifting vision while within a peculiar trance, he awoke to a strange rash over his left leg, later to be discovered as Grey Skull. Upon this discovery, the party examined any other locations of pain or discomfort, and sussed out and dealt with any infections they had contracted. Upon this curing and seemingly very little in the way of immediate danger, the party decides to go their separate ways for now to uncover their personal truths. So, it is 10 AM at the moment. If I remember correctly, Sasha, you are currently currently you all made your way to the medicine place and spoke to the person there after receiving the medical attention that you needed and all that. I believe, Sasha, you were heading back to the Phoenix to inform them of the epidemic which might be spreading?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So you start making your way there. I'm going to say it takes you about 15 minutes. You're not that far a walk from it. Just to get through all the security and stuff. If you're trying to rush, then I'd say it'll take you about 5 minutes.
I'd probably be trying to rush.
Okay. Give me an athletics. Just a basic athletics check then, please.
Oh, this is gonna go so bad.
I believe, Malcom, you were heading to the library?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, good.
Oh, that is
yeah, you're
an
able to,
18, I believe.
Yep, you're able to make it there quite happily, Sasha. So, Malcom, you start looking around for a library. Give me an investigation check, please. Okay. Yeah, you managed to find one of the larger libraries, known as the Adamantine Library. And you can also tell from the appearance of it, it's a rather large and grand building. It seems to be a little bit more deep and wide as a versatile tool for a building of this style. seemingly made by men in the same structure. It has four columns on the outside that have a large hangover at the top, carved out of what looks to be the local grey and white stone, very similar to Roman architecture for your own visualization, with a set of stone steps leading upwards, and as you make your way in through the set of double doors on the front, some people passing by, some going in, you enter into this very large, quiet area. A large carpet leading all the way down the center, and basic floor paneling on either side. All around there are tables, there are chairs, there's a little old lady sat over by one of the desks, and a large brutish orc on the other side, currently in what looks to be some form of a rather long trench coat, almost like putting books back, with like a set of spectacles on, and what looks to be some form of just a trolley in front of him, with just covered in books. We'll come back to you. Elsyan, what were you doing?
I was going to go find the High Marshal.
Okay, so you make your way to the fort from where you currently are. I'd say it's a 20-minute journey or so. You make your way there. Find yourself at the fort. Guards let you in. And you start making your way, ascending to where the High Marshal is. Bhold, what are you doing?
When was my fight with the Baroness?
Whenever you wanted it to be. You just had to go and meet her.
Okay. Well, where is she?
She would be in the Phoenix at this current time, as far as you're aware.
I will head there if I can remember where it is.
Alright, so you head back to the... you basically head back with Sasha.
Yes.
Making your way there. I'm going to say you don't need to do an athletics check, because you're accustomed to running. And you keep good pace with Sasha, making your way there, and then eventually when she goes about her business, you do too. And Queglod, you start your search. Where would you like to begin?
I'm looking around deep in the Undercity.
Okay.
Primarily probably looking for religious institutions.
Alright, are you going to try and keep...
Is anything related to the Raven Queen?
Are you going to try and keep pace with the others, or no?
No, I'll let them run on ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys go on ahead. I'll catch up later.
Alright.
Well, alright then.
So, as you make your way, slowly but surely, into the back into the area of the Phoenix, heading back down the stone walkway and into the main central area of the courtyard, where would you like to go, both of you, Sasha and Bhold? We'll say it takes you an extra 5 minutes to get there.
Who's the nearest person who is, in charge that I know of?
That you know of? That would be Rohal, who is in the war room, as far as you might be able to tell.
I'm gonna head to the war room and just knock on the door, like politely. Not in as a way as that would get me killed.
Okay. There are two guards currently standing outside, and they look at you and they say, what business do you have?
I wanted to make sure that someone knew that it's possible that the Morban housing area has infected people with multiple diseases, including grey skull and scarlet boils, crimson boils, many other deadly diseases. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that this may be an issue with those that went into the Morban lair yesterday.
I see. Who were you planning to speak to?
I was trying to find Rohal. I don't suppose you know where she is.
Rohal probably wouldn't be the best one to speak to about this.
Who would you suggest?
You might want to talk to Malik.
Malik.
He,
I've met Malik. Was it Captain Malik or something? Have I met Malik before?
No, you shouldn't have.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking of. One of Matt's
Yeah,
characters.
I know well in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Unfortunate coincidence. Yeah.
That's probably where I got the name from. Anyway,
Anyways.
yes,
Where-
you
where-
probably
where-
want to speak to Malik. He's the one in charge of the medicine and care in this place.
where would I find him?
You'll find him just through the crafting district. I assume you know where that is.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. I do.
Just through there. There's an infirmary on the other side.
Okay, thank you very much. Just keep a lookout for any mystery rashes or the like, and make sure you get them checked out.
And
course.
Saying that, I'm just going to jog along,
Okay.
and I'm heading for the infirmary.
Okay. Behold, where are you going?
Okay, is there a guard near me?
Yes.
Okay, I go up to him and ask him, do you know where the Baroness is?
I do. He's in the fighting pit. The main one.
Oh. Okay, thank you. I go to the fighting pit.
Okay. As you
Do
make,
I find anything interesting along the way? Let's see.
is there anything interesting along the way?
Oh god.
As you're walking along, you see this stand. It's currently closed, but you notice that behind the curtain, some of the, like you decide to take a quick peek around, and you can see what looks to be a nice shiny sword on the other side.
Is there anyone around?
Make a perception check.
is he gonna do what I think he's going to do?
What is that total of?
Well. Oh wait, no, wait. Yeah, well, that was my perception. Uh, 11.
Yeah, you can see that there's the guard who's just watching you walk away, and you suddenly just poke your head around to look at this sword.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking.
Alright, so you make your way, towards the fighting pit, heading down past a bunch of shops, and you make your way there, and you head through the doors, and you find yourself in the fighting pit. And within the fighting pit, you can see Rage and Fury currently at it, fighting away at what looks to be a dwarven individual. Seems to be a 2-on-1 match, and the dwarf seems to be like batting them to the side, and he seems to have his axe in one, embedding his axe into the side of Fury. There seems to be quite an intense battle between them. Looking at all this, you notice that the Baroness is on the other side. She's just standing there with her arms crossed, watching the battle take place. She seems to have more of a straight face, a stern face from what it looks like. There doesn't seem to be anybody else around, though. People don't seem to be betting at this time. Either people are asleep, or there aren't many people about. It just looks to be like 2 onlookers, the person in the pit and the Baroness and her 2 direwolves.
Rage and Fury are the direwolves, right?
Yes, they are.
I go up to the Baroness.
Okay. So you're here.
Yes. I was here to do the match you asked.
Now tell me, would you prefer to fight armed or unarmed?
Well, fuck, you've got me there.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
Both. Say both.
Armed. Let's do armed.
Armed it is then. And looking at her in her current attire, you can see that she's just wearing what looks to be casual clothes. Previously, you'd seen her in heavy plate armor, and she was carrying a greatsword. But right now, she's not carrying anything, seemingly. She's wearing her regular attire. And she just turns to you and goes, "So be it. I assume you're prepared."
Yep. I should be on top 4.
Excellent. And she's.
Where are we gonna do it?
We'll do it. We'll start right here. And
Presumptuous of you.
And she looks down at the at Rage and Fury, and claps her hands. And you watch as Rage and Fury both like stop and turn their head. They're in the middle of mauling this dwarf. And he like looks over and he says, "Oh, come on! I still had a few more hits in." And she looks down and says, "It is my turn now." At which point, the demeanor of the other two on the other side goes to like a gasping, "Oh shit" kind of pose. And they look down, and you can see as the dwarf just like his eyes open wide, and he's like, "Really? Me?" And she looks over at Bhold and says, "If you would like to enter."
Okay, I jump down.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check, or an athletics check, because of what you're doing. Alright.
21.
Yeah, you land, slamming on the ground, and you watch as the dwarf like looks over at you, like clambers up and like climbs out of the ladder on the other side. You watch as she's going to try and do the same, except she's going to use her acrobatics, because that's better. Yeah. With the same sort of thing, she does a graceful landing, kind of a 3-point. She seems to fall slower than you would expect. Interesting.
Yeah, do I still know what race she is or what she is?
She is a tiefling, from what you can tell. Oh no, she's a tiefling, but you don't know what her class is. Sorry. Well, are you ready, Bhold?
Yup, I am ready. Let's go.
Then draw your weapon.
Okay, I slam my axe on the ground.
Alright, you draw your axe, and you slam your axe on the ground. Alright, I would like you to roll initiative for me, please.
It didn't really matter, there was like a 50-50.
That's a 5.
Oh man, she rolled 3 as well. However, she gets a total of 7, so...
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh fuck.
Alright.
Well, the fight's over, guys.
Good luck, Infernal. You're going to need it very much.
Yep. She looks at you, and she does like an honorary bow, and then she stands up with like one hand on her chest and her other hand like kind of outstretched towards you, and says, "You go first," and then takes a step back, and you watch as her left hand, which she had outstretched, goes into a flat palm in front of her, and her other hand that she brings back goes into like a point, which she then brings to her side, on her right side.
What is this fighting stance?
From what you can remember, you've seen this sort of fighting stance before. You might understand why this is Cannibal's teacher.
Who the fuck is Campbell?
The person beat in your first fight.
Oh,
And
oh,
you've
yeah,
been
that
fucking
guy.
up.
Yeah, okay.
And also your second.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Bhold, what would you like to do?
Alright. How much do I remember this dance?
Give me a history check.
It's gonna end.
Nope.
Oh, what's with my fucking rolls? God damn it, that's a 0.
Oh.
Yeah, you just seen it.
Oh. That.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
You look at her and you go, I have no idea what she's doing, but I'm sure an axe will hurt.
Sure, I'll charge.
All right.
Alright.
Give me an. Do you make this reckless?
No.
No.
Yes.
No, you can't say it. You've rolled now.
So
keep that in mind.
That's a 11.
All right. As you go in to swing, she just sidesteps it and like pushes the axe to the side, and then she takes a few steps back and she says, "I said you can make the first move." And she's gonna pass her next turn.
Motherfucker. Alright. Reckless time, boys.
Yeah, I'll just copy a second dice so you roll the second one. And also we'll add the d12 over here for your axe.
That's a 20. I hope that hits.
That's a 20 total. Okay, that hits. That's a
But only just.
9.
That is
Are you?
9 plus 6.
Uh,
No, 9 plus 6.
Did you
yeah.
declare you were raging?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. I must have missed that then. So that's 15 total points of damage. Okay. And she looks over at you and goes, "A good strike, a good strike. Another." And you watch as her form changes and she goes onto one leg. And you watch as now only her index finger, her middle finger and her thumb are outstretched. And she has one up by her ear pointing down. And she has the other one down by her knee pointing up.
God damn, she is so too terrifying. Like, this
Right,
shouldn't
it's
be
your turn.
scary, but it is.
Yep.
Imagine it in my head in this fucking ridiculous fighting stance.
Reckless again. Alright, that is a what?
That is 17.
That is just enough to hit her AC.
Alright.
Alright, 6.
Alright, that's a 14.
Okay. As you go in for the strike, she accepts the strike in her shoulder. She's going to make 2 attacks into both your shoulders. And because it's reckless, she gets advantage on these. The first one is a total of 17.
That hit.
And the next one is a total of 22.
Yeah.
Okay. So both hit.
Strange enough, that one doesn't hit.
And so this does a grand total of 18 points of piercing or bludgeoning damage. Oh no, piercing because of the stance, which is halved. So that is 9 points of piercing damage.
Do you deal piercing damage with her bare hands? That's
Yeah, because of the current stance she's in, she's using her index finger and middle finger as if they're like daggers.
Let's reduce
And
that.
she's actually managing to do it.
Yeah, she's
Mm.
as you go to
Shattering
strike,
her
she
fingers.
accepts the axe into the shoulder. You notice that it doesn't go that deep. Like it just doesn't.
Let's reduce that, Chris.
Oh, you're just gonna reduce it? Alright, a d12 plus your constitution modifier, please. And what was it, 14 points of damage? Alright. Put it under that.
It was 9.
It
was 9.
It was 9 damage, so that takes that down to 4. I'm actually... I'm just wondering whether Stone's Endurance is done before or after the halving. I'll say after, just for the sake of now, but in future I'll look it up.
It should be after.
Yeah. I think it
I
can...
choose when to
I think it can be done before or after, but I think it's after you take the damage. It doesn't specify, but we'll look that up later. Okay, so you take 4 points of piercing damage total. Okay, getting back to her turn, she is going to look at you and go, "Well, it seems you've landed 2 very clean blows. As have I. 2 for 2." And she, like, placing her hand underneath the axe, she flicks it up, and she is going to use her bonus action to disengage, and she's going to, like, step back twice and go into a different stance. This one she has two fists in front of her brought up, similar to that of boxing.
She's gonna fucking murder you.
Can she stop mocking me, please? I don't appreciate it.
This is friendly sparring. She's trying to teach you something.
I think what she's trying to
Are
teach
you
is
just
don't
going to go for a
fuck
regular
with
attack?
mum.
Regular
Yep.
attack it is then. Alright,
22.
but first, because you have moved into her range to attack, that is a 13 to hit.
Oh,
Okay, as she goes in for a strike, you like pull your belly in slightly and go in for a downward strike. Her strike just falls short out of where your stomach is. And the damage is
14.
14. Okay, and you watch as it sinks in again into her shoulder, seemingly taking these blows without a care in the world.
Fuck you.
Chris, can I just ask what level she is?
No, you're not there.
Because she's level 20.
She's immortal.
Okay, on this strike,
Oh no.
she steps back and she says, "Well, I guess enough of this padded armor is necessary." And you watch as she begins to unbutton the armor and like push back the general clothing to the side, and you watch as she has like these bands of cloth that wrap around her chest. You see that you've dug into her, and you watch as she takes up a stance yet again.
She's using bide.
Oh no.
Alright, Infernal, it is your turn.
Alright. Well, I'll do the only thing that's available for me to do.
Before you roll for the
What
attack, you move into range.
Okay.
Okay, does an 18 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I am going to sink a key point into this. I would like you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Get advantage on that, I guess?
Yes, you do, because you are raging. DC is...
Oh.
That's a 10.
That is... Alright, no, you do not win the... You do not beat the DC. As you go in to make the attack, you are stunned. And as a strike springs up, whacking the base of your jaw, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 3, as she just strikes you, and then remains in place as you're stunned. Moving on to her turn, she's going to go into a full barrage of strikes. So first one, 12 doesn't hit you.
Yeah. Nope.
Second one, 19. Yep. And then she's going to sink another key point, meaning she gets 2 more attacks. And that is a 29 and a 19.
Yep.
Alright, so that is...
And now Infernal is dead.
That is 6, 3, and 7. So 16 plus 12, 28 points of bludgeoning damage. Halved to 14.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yep, and now she is going to, spinning on her back foot, she is going to move around the other side of you, and doing a series of like quick hops, she moves 45 feet away from you.
What the fuck? How big is this ring?
The ring, in terms of like diameter, it's maybe 80 feet. It's a large battle ring. It's used for fighting large creatures, so it's maybe like 10-15 feet deep with like a series of spikes around the outside to stop anything from climbing out. Alright, it is your turn, Bhold.
Well, I can't catch her.
So what do you do?
And... Right, I move as close as I can to her, so that's 30 feet. So that's 15 feet away from me.
Okay.
I'm going to throw my axe at her.
Okay, make it with disadvantage, please, unless you're recklessing this. In which case, make a single roll. Alright, disadvantage, so you took the whole thing, so that is a 2.
Why did I do this to myself? I should have waited for this.
You can't wait before recklessing. You just can't. You have to make the choice up before. You go to throw the axe, and you watch as she bats it aside with her hand. Like the flat side of it, as it would sink in, just pushes it aside. And on her turn, she's going to go into a stance and say, "So, what brings this rage to you? I can see why you beat Cannibal, but why do you intend to beat me? What is your purpose?" At which point she stands there and you watch as her form shifts slightly. Your turn.
She's fucking
I'm
Naruto.
gonna sit down and fucking think.
Alright,
What is my purpose?
give me an intelligence check.
Oh god. Behold's having deep thoughts.
0.
0. You go to think of your purpose, and you start beginning to think, what does that word mean? I don't know.
I don't know. I have 1 HP left.
You have 1 HP.
Yes!
Well, tell me. You don't have to roll for this. You can, if you want to come up with a purpose, you can. So what is your purpose? Your strength? Your weakness?
Paying my debt?
Huh?
Paying my debt?
Can you repeat that?
Paying my debt.
Paying your debt. Oh, that's your strength. Okay. Your debt. Well, that is good. But do you respect the debt?
Yes,
I see.
I do.
Well then. And you see her demeanor goes into a regular form. She clasps her hands together and she bows.
I bow down too.
Okay. Combat is over.
Alright. I'm not dead. Interesting.
Okay. And you watch as she just goes snapping her fingers, and you watch as the ladders are let down, and one of the individuals on the side who's like thinking about what just happened as he watched this, and she calls up, and you watch as this small halfling individual like runs over with like a clink 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 as he runs along with like a series of glass vials and bottles, and like climbs down into the pit and passes one to her, and then runs over to you and passes one to you. It's red in color. You recognize this as some form of healing potion.
I drink it.
Alrighty then, so you heal. You heal because of the high quality of this. You heal 39 hit points.
39?
Yes.
That's more than enough to get me to full.
Yep. She's going to drink the same, and she goes back to full hit points. Well.
Oh no. Can I control Z?
Can you control Z? What did you do?
I deleted my entire character sheet.
You can't do that. Only I can.
What?
How?
Even you can't control Z. No, you didn't.
I
It's
can.
still there.
I just did it. Who? You can't control Z.
How?
I click Control A and then click backspace.
We heard the face palm from here.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you did.
Alright, so,
Actually hurt. Ow.
sounds like you hit your headset. Anyway. So,
I hit my actual forehead as well. It's great. Oh, that hurt.
so, she looks at you and says,
Thank God you can control Z and control R.
well then. And she walks over and like offers her hand down to help you up.
I take it.
She pulls you up, and she then walks over to where her general coat and attire was, and she picks it up and puts it back on again, and buttons it all the way up. And yeah, so we will move on to Elsyan. What were you doing? You're going to seek the High Marshal.
Yes, I was going to go visit the High Marshal.
Okay.
Think about that, probably could have just contact. No, what?
That's fine. There are always ways. So as you enter into the High Marshal's office, you see what looks to be a as you enter into the general area, they let you in, and he's currently standing there, and he's currently sat down with this large stack of papers on one side, and what looks to be a mug of something that's hot with some steam coming off of it, and he has like a small plate of cookies to one side, and you see he like reaches over and bites a cookie, and he's like, "Ah, hello. What do I owe the pleasure, Elsyan?"
I've got something that may be of interest to you, High Marshal.
How so?
Well, last night while I was resting, let's say, I happened to gain a vision.
A vision?
A vision, yes. And in this vision, some form of entity, who didn't quite tell me what it was, spoke to me and told me to find. What did he tell me to find again?
The other three.
The other three shards, yes. Told me to find three shards. Similar to...
Oh no, sorry, 4, my bad.
Four, yes. I got the first one from my staff, didn't I? Yes.
Yes.
I'm writing notes now, don't worry. So yes. Asked me to find these shards. First of which, I gained from that interesting staff. I was wondering if you might have some contacts that would be useful in locating these items. They're not in my book of lore, which normally tells me such things, but still. I'm also gonna describe to him the place that I saw to help, but I can't remember the description you gave.
Yeah, you described the... he looks at you and he says, "So, during your vision you went to another plane of existence.
It seems so, although only mentally.
You travelled to Aethar.
Aethar?
It's a small kingdom, long forgotten, ruined. I have been there in the past. Ancient in times, several tens of thousands years old. The
Interesting.
location itself, no one knows too much about it. The place holds some old arcane residue, and it is the only place within the ether that is protected and fertile, able to grow plants. It is unique to itself. If what you described to me is indeed correct, I believe you went there."
Huh. Quite. Do you possibly have any ideas of what these shards might actually be, or where I could start locating them?
Unfortunately not. I am not too well accommodated with this sort of knowledge. However, do you have a physical form of the shard?
Do I have a physical form of the shard?
No, you do not.
No, I do not have a physical form of this shard.
Then unfortunately, unless you are the one to cast the divine magics, I cannot help you.
Divine magics?
Divine magics, hello.
Divination.
Shut up, you knob jockey! Sorry, I got weird thoughts from a dwarf. Anyway.
It's fine. Yes.
Divination, you said?
Divination. Divining
Divination.
magics.
Divining magic's not... I was going to say, if you're asking me to talk to gods, that would be weird.
No. Not for something so trivial. I'm sure they wouldn't be interested. But, regardless...
Why wouldn't they be interested in one such as I?
Well, the gods are interested in many, and that is their problem.
Please don't tell me it's that fucking dwarf.
Well, he had some form of a ring to him with some deity of his choice. But regardless, I cannot help you with finding these shards. If the shard, or what you say is the shard, truly wishes to find the others, then it will let you know when it knows where the others are.
Okay then. Very well.
However, I will keep this in mind, and if I hear anything of similar description, I will pass it on to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you just done?
That's me done. I'm gonna give him a curt nod and leave after drinking presumably wine during the conversation.
Oh no, you stood here and told him all that. He was sat down.
Did I just
He was sat down with like a stack of papers and a plate of cookies.
Oh,
he's not
working.
He's
Okay.
not moving. Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Bastard not giving an elven noble wine? What is this? Anyway.
Yeah. So you leave. From behind you, you can hear that a chair creak as he seems to like push his chair back, and you stay and listen for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll stay and listen.
Okay. Listening in roughly through the door, you can hear what sounds to be like a series of books being taken off, and they seem to be like being placed all on the table, and the sound of pages turning.
Very well. And then I think that's me done. I'm not going to follow that up now because that could cause a confrontation that I do not want.
Queglod, where are you at?
Uh huh. I guess I'm still moving through in the Undercity then.
Alright, give me an investigation check to see if you can discover what you're looking for.
Alright.
Discover anything about what you're looking for.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, I don't know if what I'm looking for exists in the city.
Yeah.
But if it is, I'm looking for
Okay.
signs
So what's
that
the
it
total?
is or was here. The total, I think that's 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
As you go around the Undercity, there don't seem to be too many people about at the moment. Moving around through the general areas, you speak to a few individuals, shopkeepers, people all around the place. No one seems to know anything about the Wingless. But as you're making your way into the canteen area to ask some more, you feel a grasp at your hand and your arm. As this kind of like rough individual, very scruffy and dirty beard, a hood up which seems to be tattered and worn along the edges, currently sat there with what looks to be a single roll of some form of smoked leaf of some kind in the corner of his mouth, and it's currently lit and a little bit of smoke comes off. You smell the smell of tobacco as he's sat there smoking, and there's a deck of cards out in front of him, and he looks over and he's just grabbed your arm. I recognize you.
I don't believe I recognize you. I'm sorry, can I help you?
Please, sit down. And he gestures to the other seat and he releases your arm.
I'll go sit down with him then.
Okay. You sit on the other side. As you sit down, you can see that there are a fair few individuals, some of whom have like muttered and they're like keeping a close eye on you and him at this point. And he looks over at you and he clasps both of his hands together and covers the top of his mouth when he speaks. He says to you, "So, that cloak of yours. Where did you get it?"
You'll have noticed the design work, I assume.
Indeed. And if you wish to speak any key information, I recommend covering your mouth.
Very well. I'll keep my mouth covered when I speak then.
Okay.
Yes, are you familiar with the Wingless?
That's what it's from?
It is indeed. Well, I shan't explain it to you if you aren't already familiar with it.
I am not, but if that is the case, then... And you are not who you think I am talking about, then I believe we both know that there is another one.
Indeed. So you saw someone wearing a cloak like this?
The exact same, only longer and taller, which is why I asked.
Let's see. Where was this, and when? Could be of great help to me.
This was back when I was setting up the Way portal for the assassination group to head through and deal with the White Seer. While I was in there, I made my way into the storeroom, looking around to see if I could find any bits and pieces. I then grabbed an object off the shelf, taking a look, and out of the corner of my eye I saw someone sat there in the same attire as you, a seeming white porcelain bird mask on the front of their face, and as I turned to get a better look in shock, they were gone.
It was the Court of Owls.
Don't worry, Harlan, I got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got it. Let's see. So this was very recently then, and not too far from here.
Indeed.
And
It
I don't suppose
was
you've seen. Yes.
day before yesterday.
Hmm.
And you
Well.
said this individual is of the wingless?
I suspect so, if they wear the same robes as I.
Interesting.
You haven't seen any more of these masks, have you?
No. The individual wore, from what I could tell, the orange scarf as we do, which suggests that there is someone among us who follows this. But since that sighting, I don't remember anything. I don't remember seeing any additional cases. There are portions missing.
Shit. So now we know who's to blame for our memories disappearing.
You mean
No,
to say
we
that
don't.
you mean to say that your memories have lapsed since your
In a
encounter?
way. Since
That is
since my
suspicious.
encounter, my memories have been fuzzy. I don't remember certain exchanges, certain time periods. Walking back to the main headquarters, finding my way around here, going about my business in town, seems time disappeared.
Hmm.
The only reason
That's
I've noticed
good
this is
news.
because there have been word of other individuals with broken memories recently. Individuals not remembering exchanges, talking, and all of that.
That does sound like what I'm looking for then.
If you are,
Do you... I don't suppose you happen to know any of these individuals?
I know a
If you
fair
could
few.
introduce me to... If you could introduce me to any of them, it would be of great help.
He gives like a shady look, looking around, and the people who are all looking kind of like look away and go back about their business and so on. A few occasionally take a glance or two. And he's like looking around at them, and and you watch as he stands up. Fairly tall individual, from what you can tell. The individual is about 5 foot or so. Relatively tall compared to you, but short
Yeah.
for a human. And stands up and like brushes back the right side of his cloak and puts it on his short sword. At which point everybody around the area just stands up and leaves. And he just sits back down again and leans forward. If you're looking to speak to them, I can grant you an audience, but be warned, what you're getting into is dangerous. The only reason I have chosen to share this with you is because I believe if you are the same as him or her, I can use you to draw them out. Are we clear?
Understood perfectly well.
Excellent.
Yes, it does seem that you command considerable authority around here.
Authority goes a long way when you're someone like me. At which point he slides a card to you, and it seems to be like the Ace of Hearts. And he looks down at it and goes, "Keep it. You'll need it." At which point he like gathers up his things and seems to put them into puts his deck into a neat pile, leaves it on the table, stands up, and do you wish to say anything as he goes?
How will I be in contact with you? I don't believe I got your name.
You won't need it. I'll come to you. And turns and walks. At which point, a few people seem to funnel back in, like looking around suspiciously and so on, and a few people give you like a shocked glance as you're still sat there. What would you like to do, Queglod?
What I'd like to do, I am going to... This is in the canteen area, did you say?
Yeah. Like everybody cleared out.
Yeah. In that case, I am going to order a drink. And then once I'm done, I will go and look for the others.
Okay. Do you take the card with you?
I'll hold on to that, yeah.
You order a drink. Fairly simple enough. Mark off 4 silver for whatever you're drinking.
Sure.
And we'll move on.
Yeah.
So, who is next? Queglod or Malcom? Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Malcom, you said first. You next. Alright, so. Inside the library, you see what looks to be... No, wrong one. Inside the library, you can see what looks to be large sets of bookcases on either side. There seems to be a one of those rolling ladders you can get, and there seems to be two tiers to this library. There's an upper tier with smaller, short bookshelves which you're just able to reach up and grab from, and the lower tier which is maybe 3 or 4 stacks high for bookshelves. So you're looking at maybe each bookshelf being about 2 meters in height, maybe 6 meters up or so, before it gets to the next floor. And it opens up, and there's this large open bit along the center, glistening like metal railings going all the way around. All sorts of people seem to be in here. Seems to be not eerily quiet, but there are a large number of people being quiet. There's the occasional footfall and that sort of thing as people stand up and move. There's the creak and so on, and as all this is going about. So there was the old lady over by the counter, and then there was the orc putting books back on the shelf.
I guess I'm gonna walk up to the lady.
Okay. Walking up to the lady, she looks up and says, "How can I help you, dear?"
Hi, I'm looking for a book of spiders.
Spiders?
Spiders?
We have plenty on spiders. What kind?
I kinda poke at my hood a little bit to have the spider show itself for a sec.
She like grabs the desk and like shifts back slightly and goes, I'm no expert in nature, but are you sure that thing's safe?
Yes, it's safe. I
Ish.
recently
Ish.
hatched it from an egg, and
The perfect betrayal. Spider sneak attack on your neck. Okay. I recommend, if anything, there's a section on animals. And she points down the way and says, "It's the third one on the right. There's an entire section about animals there. You should be able to locate what you're looking for there, but just don't let the spider roam free, please."
Don't worry, he'll be in my hood. Or she'll be in my hood.
I see.
I guess I'm gonna go to the section.
Okay. As you make your way down the corridor, the occasional creak of one of the floorboards, just as you walk along, ever so slightly, and as you turn into to look into the area, you see what looks to be a long table, as with all the others, with a series of chairs around. There seems to be one individual sat there, a female human sat there with like a set of spectacles on, reading what looks to be a book, and there's like a stack of books next to her. Looking at some of the spines, they seem to be based on enchanted animals and mystical planes of existence and other strange animals like that. And she's just sat there reading them, doesn't take any notice of you walking up. Looking around this area, there's a lot of books. There are significant holes in places, but looking around, there seems to be a catalogue system. Just as you look at it, looking through the catalogue system, you narrow down the area you're looking for, and eventually you discover that on the second tier of the bookshelves, about 4 rows up. There's 2 rows per tier. 4 rows up, somewhere along the right, there's a section on regular forest animals, which is a good place to start.
Alright, I guess I'll take a book and sit at the table and start reading it.
Okay. As you climb up the ladder, you go to the forest section. You find a book on what looks to be some basic forest animals and details of, as well as what looks to be a similar, like a catalogue thing, like where you'd record basic understanding of what animals live where and so on. You take those 2 books, climb back down the ladder with them under your arm, and sit down, and you place them on the table. Where do you sit in relation to the other one? She sat on the left, about 5 seats from where you started. There's about 7 seats going all the way up, and where you climb down, you're a little bit off of that. So do you sit further away from her, near her, or don't care?
It doesn't matter.
Right. So you take a sit down, placing the books down, and you begin reading through. Give me an investigation check, please, with advantage, because it is what you are looking for. Because you know what you're looking for, sorry. Okay. What's your total investigation for that?
16.
16. Okay. Looking through the book, you seem to find what looks to be a description on spiders. Different kinds of spider nests, different kinds of known spiders: wolf spider, giant spider, spiderling. They're the fairly well-known ones. You've got lair queen. Lair queens seem to be slower than most species of spider. They have a large inflated abdomen, and they seem to lay eggs often. And they're the main prime leaders of a hive, for the most part, or a nest. And they'll lay eggs. They don't seem to they seem to substitute their venom and the ability to attack with fangs and that sort of thing for being able to lay eggs. And usually a lair queen will develop shortly after in an area which is generally deficit of spiders. So have an open area or somewhere where there aren't any spiders at all. Giant spider will be there, and then eventually, after another giant spider comes along, male one, fertilizes, and then she becomes the lair queen, and they set up a nest before she swiftly devours her husband and sets up shop. And
you know, a happy family.
A happy family, yes. At least he gets to live on inside her. He becomes the babies.
Oh Lord.
And so they'll set up shop, and generally there'll be a nest of depending on how long the nest is there, the nest will develop until it gets to a rough size where the lair queen will die, and then either the nest will reform a new lair queen to take over, which either she'll specially breed, or from there she will just die and everyone will leave and then form new hives elsewhere. Looking through, you identify your spider as a general base spider, or a regular spider, seemingly the same kind of description as the current one. And you get the understanding that within a week the spiderling will grow up to be a wolf spider, which are generally hunters. They live in a trapdoor system, or they spring traps on passers-by being able to hide very well, before eventually, if fed correctly, will grow up to become a giant spider.
Does it say anything in the book about how it needs to be fed?
It doesn't detail what kind of things it would eat. It just notes that it needs to be fed in a particular way. Or fed particular foods. Going through the second book. Investigation check with advantage, please.
Oh
Okay.
damn!
Thumbing through this one, you get through some basic pages, and you find a section on spiders. The spiders again seem to detail this similar sorts of things to what you just came across, but what look to be a slightly larger spider with what look to be more rough outer edges, with what looks to be shards of carapace that stick out of the abdomen running along the back. You identify this as a dire spider. Dire spiders, from what it details here, are extremely dangerous, and often they will consume or take over a lair queen. And in which case, if the dire spider is female, it will become a dire lair queen. At which point, either the local populace of towns and cities will exterminate it, or they will all die. There have been extreme wipings out of entire populace just going missing overnight from such incursions happening. For further detail, you look through and it seems that dire spiders only seem to occur if they have been put under harsh conditions, and for the growing up of general spiders, it seems that the quantity they get fed will give them the energy they need to grow up strong. Giant spiders usually requiring maybe 10 pounds of meat a day for 3 weeks. So you're looking at deer carcasses and that sort of thing, feeding a handful of spiderlings to become giant spiderlings, that sort of thing.
Well, I guess while I'm reading through the book, I take out some meat and stick it in my hood.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't notice. She's just the lady over from you is just rifling through another lot of books and taking down notes, seemingly, and just doesn't notice or hear the of the spider like devouring of your spiderling friend, devouring the small amount of meat you've just passed it. So are you done with the books, or are you going to look up anything else?
I'm actually going to try and talk to her.
Okay.
I guess I get up and walk over towards her.
You're sat across the table from her, maybe like a
Oh,
seat or two over, just because of the location of the book.
okay.
You're on the opposite side of the table.
Excuse me.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yes.
How can I help?
I see you're looking up enchanted animals and stuff like that.
Yes, I took a course for it. Currently studying, I want to, I'm hoping to get a, position in the academy.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I was wondering if you knew anything about, say, like, different types of, like, enchanted spiders.
Spiders in particular. I know that there are species known as phase spiders. Phase spiders are known for being able to pop in and out of existence. They're dangerous and generally very well known for their abilities to hit and run almost. Generally rather small as well. But other than that, I haven't read any in here. You're welcome to look through any of these books if you want. Just give them back, please.
I guess I'll take one of the books and kind of like look through it a little bit, see if I can see anything.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check. Okay. You feel a rustling in your hood of restlessness, but you put your finger in there and you feel like a little nibble on your finger and seems to calm down. Hasn't bitten anything or drawn blood, it's just a little nibble. Like wanting to be comforted.
So,
are you studying for this as well? To get into the academy?
No, I sort of have a little companion with me, and I'm trying to learn about what I can do to either make them stronger or something like that.
Do you have it on you at the moment?
Yeah, I pulled a spider out of my hood.
Okay. You pull this rather large spiderling, dinner plate sized, and it's just currently sat on the back of your arm and hand. It just looks over. It's just like scuttling around, like turning ever so slightly, looks at the individual sat across the way, and her eyes just light up. And she's just sat there like gleamy eye, and she's just like, I've never got to see one in person. She like reaches out her hand. I'm gonna roll an animal handling check. Alright, well that's a total of 11. It's not bad. Reaches out. Do you let her pet Spooder?
What I'm gonna do first is kind of like distract the spider with meat.
Okay.
Before she tries to pet him.
Pull out a small. You put your finger up to kind of stop her pulling out a small bit of meat and feeding it to your spiderling, who, as she reaches out and pets, like, how old is he? She? She. How old is she?
She's like, what, 1 day old?
About 6 hours old.
Okay, 6 hours.
That young?
Yeah, she sort of hatched from an egg that I got from some spiders in the Wandering Forest.
I see. I heard that there were some recent attacks, but that was about all. So you managed to claim one for yourself?
I managed to get 2 eggs. I'm not
By
really...
ripping it out of the corpse of its mother.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
The corpse of its carrier.
Yeah.
But I managed to get 2 eggs, and this one hatched. I'm not sure what's going on with the other.
Okay. Oh, well, if you're... From what I've heard, from just my studies, young creatures can be influenced by magic elements. Expose them to in a natural environment, or you manage to feed them some form of raw essence. Some kind of magical essence from some form of being of a particular element or power. It can inherit the power of that creature.
Do you know how I could get such essence?
I'm afraid not, no. I mean, if you're looking for anything of that particular method, it might be worth talking to some of the higher-ups in the academy.
Sounds like it's worth paying a visit to the academy then.
Oh, if you do end up going, I'd recommend looking for Professor Flynn. He's the one
Professor.
who deals with this sort of stuff.
Well, thank you for the advice.
The name's Ingrid,
Thank-
by the way. Yours?
My name's Malcom. Nice to meet you, Ingrid.
Nice to meet you. And she gives you like a quick nod and like does like a little wave to Spooder as you put her back in your hood. Putting the books back, you take your leave, or you got other stuff to look for?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Okay. And finally, Sasha, you make your way through the main portion of the area, heading into what looks to be the infirmary, large and relatively open. You see over in the corner, you see what looks to be a halfling individual with a series of packs over, and seems to be tending to the wounds of an individual. Some individuals seem to be moving around, halflings, humans, elves, that sort of thing, moving around tending to other wounds. And as you walk in, finishes tying the bandage on the individual, looks over and says, "Not another one," and ties it tight, and then you hear the guy go, "Ah!" and she turns around and walks over to you.
I've come with information about Has anyone come in with peculiar rashes, boils, or the like today?
Grey Skull, Crimson Boils, and what was the other one?
I want to say it was black something, but I don't know.
No, what
The
you
one
described.
that paralyzes.
Crimson boils.
You don't need to know its name, just how did you describe it?
The rash.
No, what Malcolm
the
had.
the stomach one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
I haven't had anybody say anything about a stomachache.
Yes, it's God, what is his name?
Its name is Vile Krell.
Yes, it's Vile Krell, I believe. I made some basic tinctures and solutions to deal with it with my friends, but with my traveling companions. But I thought it best to make sure that you knew about it, to make sure that everyone else who was in the polluted Morbin caves was all right.
Thank you for the information. I knew about the whole Grey Skull and all that, but thank you. Have you checked over your friends for corpse blight?
Corpse blight?
Yes.
No.
You'll find a series of black, blotchy marks in particular areas.
What would you suggest for treating it?
Treating corpse blight?
Mm-hmm.
Warm water and some sage should do it.
Alrighty then. I shall get my hands on some of that and make sure that's for my companions. How about let's swap recipes to deal with the other ones in case.
I should have enough for Vile Krell. I wasn't aware that it was going around. I guess I should call up again for another lot of individuals for inspection.
Yes. Well, glad to have helped. I don't suppose you know the nearest exit up into the Overcity, do you?
Surely the way you got in here.
I just wondered if there was any other ways out. You know what? Let me hand over what remains of the tinctures I have, just in case you need to use them.
Thank you. What do you hand over?
I have the remains of the tinctures I made for Vile Krell, Crimson Boils, and the other one that I'm forgetting, Grey Skull.
Yeah.
Yes. They should be fair. They should be fairly potent. They seem to they cleaned up my friends almost immediately. Might not be quite up to your standard, but in case you start running low, some is better than none.
Indeed. Thank you for the help.
Of course. Anyway, thank you very much, and good luck with all this lot.
Okay.
And then I am going to head to my dear sweet Cassie.
Okay. At this moment, Bhold, you've left the fighting arena after a little bit of a fight with the Baroness, making your way out. You two seem to catch Queglod, who's currently standing up, and individuals seem to have crowded around the location where she was. And she walks out of the area holding what looks to be a simple mug of what?
Would have just been tea, I think.
Tea? Alright, perfectly
Yeah, some
British.
sort of herbal tea. I
Alright,
suspect.
oh, you've had some herbal tea. Interesting.
Yeah.
Smelling of herbal tea. So what do? You're all there, you're all basically meeting up at this point in the centre of the courtyard.
Is
Well,
oh, I didn't expect to see you here.
Hello.
nah.
Oh, Behold, how did your fight go?
Bad.
That's a shame to hear. The Baroness
I mean-
was powerful then, I take it.
Yes, I don't think I could have ever won. Yes, Batman.
Wait, to clarify, I'm here as well, right?
Yeah, you're here as well.
Right. Oh, don't say that. She's an old. She's really powerful and really well connected. I mean, you might not have had a hope of winning against her now, but someday you might.
Yes, we'll have to work on training. For both of us, I should think. Well, the three of us, rather.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good.
Oh, Sasha, you want to have a sparring match?
I mean, if you want to, sure.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. to
Good
see what you
training
could do,
for
Sasha.
both.
All right. How about we organize a game in the smaller arena, and we have a little spar.
Okay, let's do it tomorrow.
Agreed.
Definitely not because I'm gonna level up.
Definitely not, because it's not gonna matter. What?
So, Elsyan and Malcom. At this point, Elsyan, what were you doing after speaking to the...
I was going to make my way back to the Undercity to try and catch up with the others.
On your way back to the Undercity, you catch up with Malcom, who's walking down the road, and you're both heading to the same tavern. You just catch each other on the crossroad.
Hello then, Malcom.
Oh, hey there, Elsyan. So, how'd your trip to the High Marshal go?
I think it will prove to be successful. Useful more in the future rather than now. But I think it went well. I mean, I didn't have to kill anyone, so that's always a plus. Or is it?
Who knows?
Just, I started twitching. Not going to kill anyone at all, ever. Obviously. Anyway. Shall we? And I'm going to gesture towards the direction of the Undercity.
Okay. Elsyan,
Yes?
I'd like you to make me a perception check. Actually, I'd like both of you to make me a perception check.
Oh. Give me my yellow dice. Thank you, game, for actually catching up with yourself. That's great. That lag was wonderful.
20.
That's great. That lag was wonderful.
As you're standing there, you gesture towards the door. Out of the corner of your eye, you see that figure again. Clothed in a black robe, feathers dark purple feathers lining the collar area, and seemingly a white mask on the individual's face.
See, I have no reason, other than it's just a slightly interesting figure. I have no real reason to bother. Bit of an eccentric who thinks he's a noble.
I mean, someone's wearing a fantasy mask in front of you. You might want to ask where he got it. You, Christy.
Mightn't I? It's not my fancy mask.
By the way, Malcolm, what was your total perception?
17.
No, you do not see the individual.
Yeah, screw it. I'm being baited. Why not? Let's go talk to the guy.
Okay. As you turn to look at the guy, it vanishes.
Huh.
This is the person you met
Interesting.
before in the caverns, where the same thing happened.
I met before? Or
You,
Oh,
yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
that.
When
Well,
you were
now.
going, after you'd finished finished killing the white seer, and you did the quick. Oh, we're heading back to the Phoenix. You travelled through the caverns, and you saw the this individual, from what you can tell, seemingly the same individual.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And you turned to look there, and you couldn't see them. They
And they just-
disappeared.
Poof, disappears.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Does he only turn up in the corner of my eye? Interesting. And I
Question:
presume it's
what
not just
happens
me.
if you then turn the corner of your eye back to where he was?
You're not there, Harlan.
Question:
Yeah.
what happens if I turn the corner of my eye back?
As you go to look out the corner of your eye, can't see anything.
Huh. How perturbing. Anyway.
Malcolm, you do notice that Elsyan acted a little strange just then after saying that.
What, did you see something or something?
Nothing there. No, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Okay, then.
The most
What?
ominous words ever spoken.
Right, said just before I open this door and get myself beheaded.
Oh, I think things will be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Still, it can't get any
Oh,
worse.
no.
Alright, so, what are you all doing in the Undercity? Elsyan and Bhold at this point are making their way in.
Yeah,
Also
I'm
Bhold or
making
also
my way
Malcom?
out.
Queglod and Bhold?
Yeah, we've no immediate business. I guess the plan was to go look for the others.
Okay, so, heading...
Unless you were up to anything in particular, Sasha.
I mean, I'm going to see Cassie.
Oh, yeah.
As,
See what, we might stay out of your way for that.
so are you following?
The way of her hammers, I think you mean.
Are you,
No, we probably should go with you, because you'll need someone to take you to a hospital.
You'll need someone to dig you out of that hole.
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'll come. I'll give you some pants or something.
I'm off to see Cassie.
as... Okay, so as you
Bhold will
all...
have to go with you, because he's the only one who can, who'll be able to drag your corpse away.
Yeah.
Heavy dwarf.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you all make your way up the stairs, you find Elsyan and Bhold just coming down the stairs and going out as they've just...
Elsyan and Bhold or Elsyan and Malcom?
Elsyan and Malcom, sorry.
Yep, I was gonna say.
Bhold is in two places at once. Whoa.
Holy shit!
Honestly, I
Bhold
You
could
have learned multi-shadow clone technique.
This is the clever. This is the,
Multi-shadow clone
the new
nudges.
technique he's developed to beat the Duchess.
Sasha's going to use sexy no jutsu.
Oh no. No.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
That's an actual thing, isn't it? I
It
forgot.
is,
Oh,
but
God.
no,
Yeah.
you aren't. Aren't allowed to. Right, so, as you've all grouped up at this point, and you're all like not walking into each other, but you see each other at this point.
Ah,
Alright, nice.
fucking dwarf.
Yeah, what have you
Oh,
two been up to?
Yeah, just been establishing a contact.
All right then. Malcom, how's your 8-legged little buddy doing?
She's doing good, I guess.
Okay. Well, cool.
Gee, how many people are around at the moment?
Around, you're currently in the Under Tavern, not in the which will lead to the Undercity. You're, as you're in there, Gen is up. He seems to be working at the bar, cleaning a few things. You see, as he's cleaning, he goes to like pour a little bit of water or whatever on the top, but there's no water in his thing, so he just goes on it, and then he just like seems to wipe it away and cleans off a portion of the top of it, and just continues moving on. And you can see that there's one individual sat over in the corner with what looks to be set of dice, just rolling them over and over again with a mug of something to the side of him. And other than that, there's nobody else about. We're reaching about midday at this point.
Alright, yeah. He's the only one. Yeah, well, Gen will be off his tits, so we won't need to worry about him.
Question. Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry?
No, I just wanted to know, who exactly do I talk to about organising a fight?
You either talk to Sella, the old man, or you need to talk to another one of the officials. So,
okay, I'll talk to Seth. Since we're in the area with the small ring, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find Sella and just be like, if he's where he normally is.
Okay.
I'd like to organise a fight.
Okay. Who versus who? And do you want bets on or bets off?
Bets on, definitely. And, it's going to be me versus, the big guy, Bhold.
I'm afraid I can't do bets for that, because you said you were his manager.
Yes, I'll be betting on myself.
Yes, but we can't allow you to, because you're his manager.
Huh. Why?
Because he's your fighter. He's supposed to be stronger than you.
Well...
Or if you're his teacher, in which case we also can't.
Oh no, I don't teach him at all. And I'm only his manager because he needs someone to, count money for him.
It's also a matter of... Think of it like this. If you and your friend go into the pits and both of you are fighting it out and duking it out, one might purposefully miss a blow so the other one can make a strike,
no.
And thus all of your friends who have betted on it get money.
Look, I will swear to whatever, on whatever god you like. I will go into a zone of truth. You
have to pay.
Promise.
I can't. The only way that I might be able to allow it is if you both pay 150 gold to enter, but you don't get to bet. Either of you. And your friends don't get to bet either. Because that way I know you're losing 300 gold.
I mean, could we just have a non-betting fight?
Yes,
I need
that's
to teach
fine.
A lesson.
That's fine. A non-betting fight I can do easily.
Also, secondary thing. If I just stop being his manager...
That also doesn't work.
Alright. Forever.
That, again, doesn't work, because we know that you know him.
Well, yeah, I know him. Doesn't mean I don't want to beat him into the ground.
That's fine. You can do it in your sparring matches.
Alright. Is there anywhere I could bet on it? Because he's going to be so surprised when I beat him into the ground.
Well, you can fight him here in the pit.
Okay. So, no bets, beating him into the ground here. Reminder, can't use healing magic, but other magic is fine, right?
Of course. As long as your friends don't try
Excellent.
anything.
Of course.
Or anybody else, for that matter.
You've got those rings of
Yes,
stopping
the bracelets,
magic.
yes.
Yes. So anyway, yes, if we could organize that for sometime tomorrow,
Of course.
whenever works well for your schedule.
Of course.
If you want all of our people to not bet on it, no, you've already said that. Never mind. Yes. So just want to beat him into the ground. Maybe. Well, hopefully, and I don't know. Maybe hopefully it'll drum up a bit of interest. Question: if I were to fight someone else and also still bet on myself, would that work?
That's fine.
Okay, that's gonna be.
You can fight other people if you want. You just can't fight any of your friends. In betting matches, anyway.
All right, fair enough. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Did you want a time or just any when?
I mean, when are you free? When's free?
Anytime. We don't have a schedule. Usually we sort it out during the day when people aren't actually doing anything.
How about we go for a noon match?
Fine by me.
That way, work up an appetite for lunch.
Works fine by me.
Excellent. Well, have a good day. I'll see you then.
All right.
I'm just gonna.
All right, all sorted.
And then now I'm heading to Cassie.
Okay. You all... yeah, we'll take a quick break here. And when we come back, we'll carry on. So, don't go anywhere. Yep. So,
Finger scrap.
Where
2 plus
we-
4 is
where we left
4.
off.
+2 is Bhold
Oh,
as well.
hi.
Yeah, where we left off. The party has done their business for the day and is now making their way towards Cassianir. And you make your way through the street. It's fairly busy, but it quietens down as you get closer to where her forge is. There are a few individuals around, not as many as usual. There are still a few, and you can hear the workings of the forge. There also seems to be a light wind in the air at this point, and you can see in the distance there are rolling black clouds that seem to be approaching. They're off in the distance. They'll take maybe an hour or two to get here.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. As you've all made your way up the street, on the left and right of you, there are the buildings, and then it gets to the main road that's in front of her shop, with either side of it having some relatively tall houses to either side of it, and then there's her plot of land, which has a front garden, courtyard, and series of like broken tiles and partially destroyed building. The old man seems to be sat out front. He's snoozed off onto one of his hands, just going. And every so often
I'm
there's
just gonna bypass the old man, if that's possible.
Okay, I'd like everyone to do a stealth check, please. You with disadvantage, Harlan, because you're wearing heavy armor.
Yes, I'd forgotten that. Well, that's a 19.
Ooh. Oh, something happened.
I assume I don't have advantage in this.
No, you just have regular.
Fuck.
That is a 9.
No, I'm moving that away
No
from
way.
for the keep grabbing tiles that I don't.
That's an 8.
Oh dear God, Elsyan is fancy. Hello there, I'm Elsyan.
Here's what happens. You're walking over, and as you're tiptoeing past, you manage to stealthily make it past Sasha. As Malcom yells out, "What's this place?" At which point, like, there's a stir of the, and then Elsyan just like grabs him on the shoulder and goes, "Wake up!" And he goes, "Ah!"
It's like having a heart attack.
"You all again? What are you doing here?" "Sasha, it's your boyfriend!" At which point there's like a shout and a smash from the inside. And the door flies open. She goes, "I haven't got a... You."
No, apologies. Look, I just wanted your expertise as a smith. My apologies for the last time I was here.
She's like gritting her teeth and looking at you. Make a persuasion check.
I probably already wish I took a different.
1.
It's not much better.
What does that come to a total?
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure it's 0. It's like the same 7.
0? Okay.
No, actually, it's +2. It's a no. It's
Plus
a
2.
9.
Well, that's good because I rolled an 8. So yeah. So she looks at you and goes, "Explain what you want." And she like leans on the door frame when there's like a creak, and then she stands up straight again.
Well, I made these smith tools, and I wanted the appraisal of an experienced smith like yourself to make sure that they are up to standard. And I'm going to bring out my smith's tools.
Okay. She looks them over, and then she turns around and like nods in. Who heads in? At which point, like, the old man who sat there is currently looking at you, Elsyan. He's like double flipping the bird to you as you like walk by.
Oh
yeah, I'm definitely going in after her because, you know, damn.
Just give me it. Well, I've just gotten the skill Delusions, so this old man is going to go crazy!
What are you going to use delusions on him?
I'm going to use Delusion on him, yes.
What does that allow you to do?
It allows me to create an image or a sound, effectively in someone's head. So
what are you?
It can be anything from a whisper to a scream, and if double check, find it in the PDF because
Oh no!
the copy and paste is fucked up, as you know.
This,
Oh yeah.
this,
Oh yeah.
Are you torturing this old man?
Time to send Grandpa off to the crazy farm.
Yeah, it's just like,
No one's
oh, you've
gonna
cleared your name. 5 minutes later, Elsyan's murdered an old man in cold blood.
Hey, I haven't murdered anyone. He might murder someone.
You're just driving one insane.
Right.
Alright, hold on.
How do I drive him insane properly? That's the thing.
Alright, hold on. I just gotta check. Where do you get your disciplines every how many levels?
This is a talent.
Ah. Oh, you also gain a new discipline as well, so keep note of that.
I gain a new discipline.
Yes, you gain a new discipline at 3rd level, as well as your feature from your thing, and your side points is now 14.
Yeah, I know that.
And side limit is 3. So yeah, you get a new talent and a new discipline. But yeah, so what talent is this again? This was Delusion.
Delusion, yes.
Go past all of these disciplines.
It's right down at the bottom. Just fucking
Delusion. As an action, you plant a false belief in the mind of one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. You can create a sound or an image. Only the target of this talent perceives the sound or image you create. If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a creature's roar, a musical instrument, or any other sound you pick. It lasts for 1 minute. If you create an object, it must fit within a 5-foot cube and cannot move or be reflective. The image cannot create any effects that influence a sense other than sight. The image lasts for 1 minute and it disappears if the creature touches it. So, explain to me what you would like to do.
Well, this is the thing. I'm trying to decide on what to do.
Okay. Queglod
Got...
and Malcom and Bhold, what are you doing? Sasha's just headed in with Cassie. Malcom, you have no idea where you are. This is like a random smith's place. It's beaten up. The tiles are falling off. There's smoke and char marks all over it. It looks like it's about to collapse if you like poked it. And there's like a open forge on the right, which the old man was sleeping against in his armchair. And to the left of that, there's like a bench with like basic work tools, which are like they don't look like they're kept in the best shape. Other than that, that looks like there was old display blades and that sort of thing, which have long rusted.
Okay.
I sit down next to the old man and start playing my drums as loud as I can.
Oh,
And just like start playing. Alright, give me a performance check actually. You start
7.
playing, you start quiet, and you start to get louder, at which point the old man just like looks over and says, "Here, shove off!" and just like pushes, and just gonna try and do a strength check against you. Give me a strength check.
Just checking. What is the race of the old man?
I think I beat this strength
He's
check.
human. Yeah, not only did you beat the strength check, but he goes to push you, and he falls off his chain. He's like, ah! And, like, falls to the side. He's like, ah! Could someone help me up? Rolled a nat 1 with a -2 to strength.
Oh no.
He rolled a total of -1 to his strength.
Just killing an old man.
You're bullying
I'm
an
just
old
gonna.
man.
Okay, Chris, I think I've decided on what I'm gonna do to him.
Mm-hmm.
Got to start off small, so I'm gonna effectively create dark whispers in his mind, like chanting some ancient language, which is probably going to just be Elven because he's English. He's English. He's human, so he doesn't understand.
He's English!
He's English.
He's English, so he doesn't understand foreign language.
Oh goodness.
So,
If only that didn't hurt so hard.
those kind of whispers.
That works.
He just begins hearing that, and he's like, "Have I hit my head too hard? What's going on?
What's wrong, old man?
Could someone help me up? I'm going mad. I think I hit my head. Please, anyone."
Your head seems fine, honestly, man. Are you sure everything's alright on the inside?
I don't know. He's just like brimming tears. He's just sat there hearing these whispers, just constantly. He's just lying on the ground, unable to move, chair toppled over, Behold's just playing.
Because of my drums.
It only lasts a
Vibrating.
minute. So,
Hmm.
but you know what? A minute's long. Just
A minute's a long
Right,
time when you're an
die.
old man on the ground.
Mhm.
Else, what do you? So what were you doing, Queglod and Malcom?
Well, I guess we'll wait outside while
but torture.
Sasha is. Yeah.
We'll torture an old
You're
man.
just watching me torture an old man.
Yeah. No, we'll stay outside while Sasha's meeting Cassie. So I'll just like
Okay with
bend
you, Mal?
down to the old guy in there.
I was
Well,
gonna
I'm-
look around
I'm
and
not
see if I could
listening
see the
for-
academy from here.
The academy. Go ahead and make a survival check because it is map based. Okay, what's your total?
17.
17. That's pretty good. Looking around, you can't see it from here, but you get the general understanding, like, just of your knowledge of the area, because you've been here for quite a while. You get the sense that you're in, like, the wrong section of this. So I'll just quickly draw basically an updated version of your map. So here's the fortress, and then you've got it leads to the outside of the wall, goes in a circle, let's say. Move the dice real quick. And it goes in a circle like that. Currently you've only really been to the top half of the area. The tavern's about here. There's a main road which leads to this area, and there's like a long road which leads round, kind of cutting it off, so there's like a stretch of road which you've crossed quite a bit. Cassie's shop is just here. And you've exited out of this entrance here, and you know that the academy is somewhere on this side here, along the road somewhere. So you can't really see it from here, but you know that if you kept going that way, you'd eventually find it.
I want to go to the academy.
Do you say this out, or are you just gonna like ditch the party and disappear?
I'm gonna stay and then leave as I'm saying it.
Well, alright then.
Are you happy? All right, going by yourself? I think we'll wait for Sasha to finish off and then come join you, unless anything else comes up.
I'll be fine by myself. And I just walk off.
Okay. You make your
Alright,
you start making your way to the academy. Just give me one survival check to see if you can find your way there. I'll say with advantage for this because you actually know roughly where it is. So. Yeah, you don't get lost. You're fine. 3 1s, impressive. You managed to make your way to the academy. As Queglod, are you leaving the old man on the ground?
like I'll bend down and like see if he's okay. I couldn't pick him up if I wanted to.
Okay.
It's like
All right.
It seems he's hearing voices in his head, Queglod. This man needs some serious help.
Yeah, just give me a quick medicine check. While you're in the shop,
sure.
like Cassie's there. He's something's. It's not that you can sense a little bit of arcane residue. Somebody's done this.
So something's up.
Yeah, something's up. Yeah.
Bear in mind, Elsyan
doesn't
has a
look like he's
smug look on
concussed.
his face.
Yeah, Sasha, as you walk in, you hear the thud outside of someone falling over and a series of drums being played. And
I just assume that Behold's done something with his drums. I'm ignoring it.
yeah, something large hit the ground after Bhold was playing drums. You don't know what it was, and now there's an old man asking to be helped up. So yeah, and you can just barely hear that. Cassie continues walking and makes her way into the shop. Surrounding you are all kinds of different objects, metallic pieces, and what look to be hammers and other bits of array of smith's kit from what you can tell, as well as what looks to be old aprons which are burned through. You can see glass vials and canisters which are either partly broken or blown apart and that sort of thing. And the whole place in here just seems to be a mess, like a giant workshop. Over off to the side, you can see there's a nice wooden door, which from the view that you can see is currently closed. And you're being led out to the other side. And as you exit and as you enter into a like a secondary area on the other side, you see a well-prepared forge, similar to that of the one in the Phoenix, but a little bit more personalized. And it has what look to be 2 dividing chimneys going up on into separate areas. You have what looks to be a main area where you'd stoke the fire with that sort of thing. Bellows are there. You have the main anvil in the centerpiece, in the center of the room. There's a bucket of water to one side, bucket of sand to the other. There's the smith's tools that are prepared. There seems to be a hammer and what looks to be a shard of metal, which has currently gone cold, and sits atop the anvil. And you can see over on the side, you can see all forms of other ingredients, powders, and the like. Pass them here.
Right. I pass them over.
Okay.
Here you go.
She takes your smith's tools, and she holds it in her hand and says, "Not bad. Balanced, to say the least. Good quality. Fancy. Not my style, but oh well." At which point she she takes the shard of metal with some tongs and puts them in the stoked fire, and then proceeds to press the bellows, just to kind of heat the flame. Puts on a glove. After a few minutes, pulls it out. Unless you want to say anything during that time.
I want to. Let me get that for you, and I'm going to use heat metal on the shard.
Okay. You go to cast heat metal on the shard, and the shard glows a little bit brighter, rather quickly.
I'm not sure if I actually have to roll for heat metal or if it just sort of
No,
happens.
it just works. It rolls. It's a saving throw, so you wouldn't have to roll for this sort of thing. So you heat it up, heat up to a fairly good temperature, and she pulls it up and says, "Useful." Puts it down, takes the hammer, does a single nice swing, and you watch as there's like this fire arcane essence to it, which spreads across the metal, and she pulls back and goes, This is unique. I've never had that happen before. Where did you say you got this?
Oh, I made it.
You made it?
Yes, I haven't been smithing in a while, but let's say that I decided to retake it up, and this was my first foray in a while, and I wanted to check if we're up to standard with someone who's a bit more familiar with it, after being away from a forge for so long.
Well, I can say that they're all very well made. They're both all relatively balanced, they're all practical, they all have a nice design to them. Not that that matters. But the hammer seems to have a unique feature to it. It seems to cause some kind of, I don't know, some kind of fire magic to it.
That would, I'm a cleric of Turan. Some of that power may have been built into it as I was creating it.
You mean one of the primers? The dragon?
Yes.
At which point she's looking at the hammer, inspecting its design and that sort of thing.
I might be. I can show you what I did. I could make you a set if you'd like.
And you can see that she's considering it, just looking over the hammer, and no, it's okay. She passes you back the hammer. It's decent craftsmanship, but unfortunately, I haven't made swords and the like in years, so not my forte.
What have you been making, if I can ask?
Make a persuasion check. 19?
21.
21, yeah. I suppose, as a friend of the marshal, I can show you. You watch as she goes over and she pulls back this bit of old cloth, and she holds up what looks to be a large, what looks to be a steel cylinder almost, tapering to a near point at one end, with what looks to be a series of like slits cut into the edge of it and all the way through. You can see that it's got some form of a underside to it, like a sphere or cylinder to it, and that's currently slotted in the underside. And she picks it up, and she takes what looks to be a small amount of like gunpowder or black powder, as you can tell, and she puts it in the side of the canister and closes the lid on the side of it. And you watch as it heats up, and you watch as the top portion of it seems to shrink down into what looks to be a singular don't think of the word here. Cylindrical. Yes. Single cylindrical kind of tube which closes off at one end with a pinch. And she holds it up, and with a single press from the back, just pressing onto the back portion of it, you watch as there's like this small and a small bead of what looks to be a yellow light shoots out of the end of it, pierces the back wall, and just opens up a hole about a foot in diameter.
Good God.
This is what I've been working on. Aleuir commissioned it. I don't understand the designs, but he said that I have a knack for it.
I mean, obviously, if you made that thing, wow, so, okay, give me a second here.
I'm gonna like go over to the wall, and I'm gonna use my my mending, because you said it was approximately 1 foot in length.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my mending to just dispel repairs a tear or break in an object that is not bigger than 1 foot in length in any dimension.
Okay, I would like you to roll for this.
Okay.
That matters. I'm going to say you can add your wisdom modifier to this. Just the wisdom mod. I believe that's a +4 for you, or a +3.
+3.
Okay.
16.
You go to cast it, and for all the times you've cast mending, you feel resistance. And you begin to repair it slowly but surely, and bits of the wood creak back, and they've got like these blue flares along the side of them. And as it repairs back, the wood is completely discolored. And there seems to be like a dark bluish tinge to it, with like yellow highlights. And as you release the mending spell, the wood returns to its regular color and flourishes in the light brown hazelnut kind of color that it was before.
Question: can I tell if that was me or if that was the gun?
You haven't had this happen before. For the resistance, you imagine that the colorations was probably from whatever was causing the resistance to that.
What exactly was that it was hit with? Because that's never happened before.
Well, Aleuir says they're groundbreaking, from what he says. He called it a aether cannon, where we have ballistas that are mounted on the fortress, and in some places there are these, you've probably experienced or seen them before, dwarven dragon lances.
Yes.
Something similar to that, but less alchemical based and more ethereal based.
I mean, frankly, I'm gobsmacked. That is a very powerful weapon. I don't want to ask anything that I'm not allowed to know, but has he said what it's for?
He said they're for experimenting. Something that I am to figure out how to use, and as a result work out what I can do with them properly. Maybe eventually give to his troops.
I mean, if you need any help at all, I'm always happy to help. Not just because I may, with such power, I may be able to temper it with a Turan's blessing. I don't know, but if you need it, I doubt you will, of course. But there. Anyway, thank you very much for your help.
Well, if
yes,
you have any pieces of work you again want me to look at, I can do so.
Not really helpful. don't like to I want to ensure that I don't mess up too badly. Have a nice day, and I'm going to leave very quickly, and probably still blushing because she made that. I as a dwarf, this is like
Okay.
She is deadly. That is the equivalent of a dwarf. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm, for context, I want to romance her. That is the entire thing I've done.
Well, you've made it past. She's throwing hammers at you.
Yeah. The way I see it, this was a great leap up
All
for me.
right. So, what are you all doing outside? You're all standing outside with this old man currently on the ground, squirming, going, "Help me up!
Yeah, I'll
Help me up! I can hear voices." He's just like tears streaming down his eyes or down his face.
This man obviously needs to go see professional help. He might be insane.
About halfway through
Behold,
your spell duration.
Yeah. Behold, why don't you help the poor man up?
Behold.
Make a persuasion check.
Make
So
a
he did
persuasion
try to push
check.
Bhold.
Alright, I'm gonna say this is versus your charisma score.
My charisma is 14.
Persuasion is +3, so 13. Christ.
It's still one short.
Fucking hell, you haven't managed the whole.
I can't
So
hear you over the sound of the drums.
Yeah, you're still playing, aren't you?
Yep.
Drums and a guy screaming that he can hear voices in his head. I suppose he can hear them over the drums, to be honest.
Okay. Right, Sasha, come back out.
You hear like a from the back room, and maybe like half a minute later, Sasha comes out of the front door.
There is a big smile on my face.
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
at this point that the old man's like, "Oh, wait a second, I can't hear them anymore."
Oh, so
What?
now he can't hear voices.
What was that? Hey, you're being mean to me.
Who's being mean to you? What are you going on about?
Make a deception check. I'm making an insight. 16. Frick. That's higher.
What is that with my deception?
That's like a 20.
That's not
21 or 22 or something.
something like that. Accident. Oh no, I didn't accidentally close my things in a different window.
I know that you have like a -1 on your charisma, but you have like a +3 because, or no,
Yeah,
a +2 because your thing, so it's a +1. 20. Yeah. He's like, I know it was you.
No, what was me?
Yeah, I did it somehow. I don't know how.
I don't know what you mean.
You're such a mean.
Me manipulating someone's mind? I have no idea what you're talking.
He's gonna try getting up. Alright, he
What did
Shut
I
up,
walk
Sasha.
into?
He pulls himself up, and at this point he stands there and goes, "Your friends are evil. They're all evil."
Well, I mean, you're not entirely wrong, though. What happened? What's going on?
This idiot woke me up. This one started me with drums and pushed me over. And that one is... And just points at Queglod and goes, "You're unhelpful."
Okay. First of all, my apologies for anything they've done. They're not house trained yet.
I can tell. At which point, like, Cassie's standing there in the door, is just like...
I'll get them out of your way,
Yeah.
shall I?
Cassie's standing there and she just looks over and says, "Oh, be quiet, old man." He's like, "These guys are evil. They shouldn't be allowed here. Go, shoo."
Cassie, was it? You might want to
yes.
keep an eye on him. He had a rather nasty fall.
Okay. Good to
He's
know.
hearing voices. Take him to the loony bin.
It wouldn't be the first
The guy
time.
that sees a butler.
And wait, you're going to use it so he sees a
What are
butler?
you? No, just. No, it's more just saying how Elsyan's calling someone insane, and he sees a butler that no one else can.
I've just realised you can cast illusion so they can see Farnsworth.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Why do you think I picked it? Why do you think I said the words? And Farnsworth becomes a little more real.
Oh, I see.
Why? Why do you think I said this?
Oh man.
Just can't. I don't know what to pick
So
as
you
my
all,
next
you all
discipline.
stand
They're
up
all
and
so
leave.
good.
The old man's going to attempt to punch you, Behold. What's your AC?
15.
Yeah, okay. He punches your shoulder and it's just like a... Ow! He's like pulls away.
And now he's punching a Goliath. That's wonderful.
Did I feel anything?
You felt like a tap on your shoulder, like he was trying to get your attention.
Okay. That's fine.
Just walking
That's
off.
fine.
Someone trying to get my attention? Fuck that guy.
you all make your way out. So where does the party head next? I know Malcolm's heading to the academy, but I want to know if you're following up or if you're going elsewhere.
I said I was going to follow unless. So
I'm going to head back to the forge to do my daily forging.
You've got plenty of time. It's maybe about, seeing as the distance you travelled, it's maybe like 1:30.
Oh damn. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna have a little chat with Elsyan.
Oh man! All right. So, Malcolm, you make your way to the academy. I'd also like who's leading everybody to the academy.
Me.
All right, Behold, give me a roll with advantage.
Okay.
Actually, no, you haven't been to this part of the city yet, so just a roll, please. See if you know what the academy is. You know it's a place for smart people, and you remember hearing about it, and you know roughly where it is.
Okay. It's where Elsyan goes.
What?
That's what I know.
What drugs are you taking, and where can I get some Goliath? It must be brilliant.
Oh, you can't get them. I'm born with them. They're called the 6 intelligence drugs.
Well,
6 intelligence? No,
Yes.
you must be less than 6, because I'm obviously the perfect 10 out of 10 intelligence. You're far below me.
More like a 3. What? How are you? What?
Do I notice his little stumble over?
Hmm?
Do I notice Sasha's little...
Nothing.
What? Nothing?
No, you would, because you got a high perception.
Oh, yes, I do. Sasha, I heard that. And, oh, look over there. I'm gonna cast Delusion on Sasha.
Doesn't require a save at all, does it? It's just it happens.
No, I believe it does.
No,
Delusion?
it just happens. Oh my word!
Oh, shit, yes!
It just happens.
Oh, that's brilliant. And it just needs to be able to fit within a 5-foot cube. Just Farnsworth is short. Yes.
Short Farnsworth.
Ha!
wait,
Farnsworth.
what is it?
I'm gonna wave over in the direction. I'm going to create Farnsworth in Sasha's mind.
For the first time ever, Sasha, you see Farnsworth standing there. A little shorter than you'd thought. But still, a very full and regal
Actually,
Farnsworth.
he has to be exactly my size or shorter.
You 5 foot then?
Yes.
Then he's your size or shorter. He's your size.
He's just this Farnsworth is just standing there staring.
How are you 5 foot? Dwarves don't go that big, do they?
I honestly don't know. I might have put it in there as a placeholder, and it just ended up being my height.
That is quite a tall dwarf.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. Can dwarves even grow that big?
He's a freak of nature, let's
I think
face it.
4
Let's
foot
move
5
on.
is
Either
the
way,
highest.
that's fine. I just want to know whether that's like a thing. No, 4 to 5 foot tall. Yeah,
Damn, I'm just on the very tall edge
Wow.
of it.
yeah. You're just on the
I guess
very
you
tall
still want
edge
them
of
to
it.
be.
And there's
Because dwarves in this are still medium,
Mhm.
yeah,
and they need them to be clearly taller than like gnomes and halflings.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it was to make me a bit of more of a not an overly stocky dwarf, like a thinner dwarf, but I've
Lanky.
still got the same amount of muscle. Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Anyway, where was I? So I see this perfectly still, non-reflective Farnsworth.
So I presume you're reading Delusion now.
No, you.
Oh, no, I've
you
already
see. You see a physical person standing before you who looks like Farnsworth, or as you've been
Mhm.
described or imagined Farnsworth.
Okay. We are walking through a busy street, right?
Yeah, and Farnsworth is standing there looking at you and waves back.
No, he doesn't.
He can't.
Oh.
Delusion doesn't allow him to move. He's just standing there,
He's just standing there staring at you,
just a blank stare, just straight at Sasha.
like eyes squinting.
So that's Farnsworth then, yeah?
Yes, that's Farnsworth over there.
And
Is that
Sam, what
Miss
you're
Sasha?
seeing is you're seeing a tall Farnsworth who's currently wandering around, like browsing all the shops and waves at you every now and then because you wave back.
I'm gonna go up to this Farnsworth, and I'm just gonna, how do I want to play this? Okay, I'm gonna go, honestly, I didn't believe you're real, but it's good to see you're here, and I'm gonna pat him on the back.
Okay.
And at that stage, the one thing you realise Harlan is metagaming, and second, you should just disappear.
Yeah. So as you go to pat,
Okay, but to be fair, isn't that exactly what Sasha would do?
she
Not true.
Mm.
as you go to pat him on the back, the image just disappears.
What? Elsyan?
Sasha, are you alright?
What do you mean? Do you not see the... Oh.
What?
What is it?
Sasha?
Never mind.
Elsyan
Elsyan?
looking kind of smug.
Elsyan, could you come over here for a second, please?
What, you fucking dwarf?
Oh, I wanted to give you a present I made earlier in the ford.
Damn it, I need to pick my... quickly. Not for discipline. Oh well, I'll figure that out later.
Where are you
Yeah,
going?
Okay. I'm just going over to talk to Sasha.
No, I mean like
Sasha.
Sasha. Are you like taking it into a side alley, or are you just like in the middle of the street gonna like talk to
Oh
him?
no, we're walking in the middle of the street.
Okay,
we're just walking. As
Separate
buddies,
from
yeah.
Bhold and Queglod, I'm going to assume, or all together still.
A little bit separate.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna draw out my one of my Swiss tools hammer.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Elsyan, have a quick look at this. What do you think of the designs on it? You're a fancy fella.
I'm going to insight check Sasha because Sasha's being uncharacteristically kind.
Yeah.
Give me a deception or a persuasion check. You don't need to tell me which. Just give me the number after the total.
A deception. Sorry, what?
Deception or a persuasion, depending on which one you're trying to do.
I
that's-
accidentally closed my character sheet. Goddamn missed, I think.
Actually, no. Wouldn't
I mean-
necessarily.
Let's say that is a. Let's just say that I beat that.
It's an 11 versus a 17, but I believe Elsyan has like a +5 to his insight.
Insight +4.
+4, so that's 15. So what is your?
Both of them are above 1, and I'd rather not give it away just yet.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Well, they're above.
Both
they're
of
above
them are
-1.
pluses. Got it. Okay.
Well, but one of them's a +0, but one of them's a plus.
Okay.
Well,
So you believe Sasha is being like, as much as Sasha's being uncharacteristically kind, you'll go with it.
Okay, so now I'm going to look closely at the hammer from the side. I don't know why. Elsyan doesn't like being in front of a hammer.
Okay, so
You have to,
Well,
yeah.
what do you want me to look at specifically?
The design,
Sasha.
the design. Just look closely at it.
No, it's not elven. No, it's disgusting, actually.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
disgusting.
And then I'm gonna proceed to dunk him on the head with it and shout,
No.
"Stop messing with my head!"
I'm not doing anything.
make an attack roll. I'm not going to do damage. I'm just going to be an attack roll.
Yeah, this is just a donking.
What's your AC?
That's a +1 to that, so it's
Just be a
14.
+1. So what's your AC, Elsyan?
My AC, check.
Oh, actually, no, I'm proficient with hammers, so...
Yes, you are. And Smith's tools, so
So-
this would count. Actually, no, this would be classed
Yeah,
as an
so-
improvised weapon. But for the sake of it being a hammer, I'll let it count.
Yeah, so 16.
Oh, bugger! My AC's 15.
That hits. As you
Oh,
bonk him on the head ever so slightly, doesn't hurt. It hurts a little bit, but not
It's
enough.
jarring,
to
but
cause
it's not,
physical
like,
pain.
painful. It's
Yeah.
like, stop messing with my head.
I'm going to use delusion again just to have the word no
Okay.
and walk
For
away.
the next minute, you hear the word no.
It's actually one singular no. It's like, no.
No, it's just my voice just going.
Okay.
Yeah, just Elsyan saying no over and over again.
Fucking elves.
Oh, you love it,
I'm
really,
gonna head to
Sasha.
I'm gonna head to the forge.
Okay, so you split off from the rest of the party?
Mm-hmm.
Sasha, are you heading off?
Yes, I'm heading down to the forge to try and improve my weapon, as it were.
Would you like some company? I will not accompany you, dwarf.
Well, we'll head to the academy to go and look for Malcom, but
Right.
I suppose we'll see you later. If you wouldn't mind, if you get a little time, could you take a look at something for me?
Of course.
Right, I'm going to hand Sasha the playing card from Elliot.
The Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, yeah.
Okay.
Just hoping you could give this a once-over, maybe. Just as you seem to have some talent for analysing potentially magic items. I don't know what it does, it might do nothing. I was just hoping you could have a look at it.
I'll get back. I'll get to you the moment. I'll get to it right after I finished my forging. I try not to let anything get on top of me when I'm about to be forging, so I don't
No,
make
it's understandable.
mistakes.
Except Cassie. Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey!
Hey. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would.
Alright, so
Very well, thank you.
So
Yeah, just whenever you have time.
Not a problem.
you will make your way to the academy. On the way, there's a car from Felipe. He's currently like hopping up and down on your on the end of your staff.
What is it, boy?
Car! And like cause facing what looks to be an alleyway.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look down the alleyway. What can I see anything in it?
Make a perception check. Do you have dark vision? Yay or nay?
I have super good dark
You have
vision.
super dark vision. Excellent.
Yeah, it's like 120 feet and works on magical darkness.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good then.
Wait, shit! You have one that works on magic darkness? Damn.
Yeah, Devil's
Yeah,
Sight. It's really good.
It's Warlock thing, yeah. So
Perception should be
should be like a
+1.
should be more. You've got
More
Felipe,
than that.
remember?
Oh yeah, I have him, so I have my charisma as well. So that's +4.
+4. Okay.
So
Looking down the alleyway, can't see anything. You can't sense or see any magical darkness. You can't see anything. You can see the other side, and there's people walking past, but that's about it.
But there's nothing special you can see there.
Nothing. Oh no! Someone disconnected.
This is Infernal. He's dead.
No, Infernal.
I don't know what discipline I want.
Oh,
Excuse
really?
me, it's Sam. We're here mourning the death of our friend. And you're...
Bhold just collapses in the street.
And then there's me, just looking through a book from like my order.
It's like,
I don't know which one I want to learn. I mean, this one's good. This one's even better. This one allows me just to read people's auras. This one allows me to mind control. Wait a minute. If I say it like that, then suddenly it becomes very clear which one I should take.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
Which is damn near is.
do you do anything else, or?
I'm going to ask the others to stop quickly. Wait, do you guys see anything down there?
You're riding Bhold, so.
Oh yeah.
You steered Bhold back around using his ears.
Yeah. No, I'll just like tap him on the back and get him to stop. Do either of you notice anything about that alleyway? Felipe
I'm
seems
still with them
agitated.
at the moment, right?
No, you went off to do your forging, didn't you?
Oh, right, it's Malcom he's talking to. Right?
Oh, no, he's talking to Elsyan.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Elsyan still with us, or did you leave?
Yeah, I'm
as
still
well?
with him. I'm not going to
Okay.
spend any more time with the dwarf. I look where Queglog's where Queglog is pointing. I look.
Okay,
Words.
give me a perception check.
Oh.
No,
That's plus my percept. That's still 9.
can't see anything.
No, I don't see anything, Queglod. I'm fairly certain I haven't messed with your mind.
Okay. I'm just gonna like look straight at Elsyan and make an insight check to see if he's just messing around.
Give me a roll. Give me a persuasion check. Or deception check. Your choice. Don't tell me which, just roll. And add the bonus. You can see straight through him. Nothing's wrong. He's not trying anything on you.
I'll be honest, Queglod, you slightly scare me.
Hmm. So he's definitely correct that he's not messed with my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just suspicious that he would say that. Okay.
It's because I've been doing it quite a bit suddenly.
Yeah. Like I know that.
And he's slightly, he's just slightly worried that he may have done it to you accidentally. Oh shit! How I just done that to Queglod? Oh, that's not going to end well for me when she finds out. Oh, that's going to end badly. Oh dear God. Oh, by all the elven gods, no.
Alright,
Okay. Well, I believe him for now that he's not
so
up to anything.
anything else you wanted to do, or?
I'm just gonna send Felipe on a quick flyover of the alleyway.
Okay. As
Just fly over and fly back.
Felipe flies over and flies back. Can't see anything. Just a straight alleyway. Can't see anything in it.
Hmm. Well, I suppose it's probably nothing then. Just as a precaution, I'm sending Felipe up into the air.
Felipe flies about 50 feet up before he would hit the barrier,
Yeah.
and proceeds to stay there watching over the area below. Okay, as you'll...
Okay. Well, I suppose we ought to get moving again then.
Okay. You proceed to make your way towards the academy. Malcom,
Yes.
you are there at the academy. You have made your way there. It is from what you can see, there is a large metal gate with metal fence going all the way around the outside of this large complex series of buildings. In this rather large and series of open spaces, there seems to be a fountain in the middle. Seems to be stairs leading into buildings either side, and each of the areas. There seems to be a single pathway leading forward, partial cobblestone, and mostly gravel. And you can see students wandering around. You can see most of them don't seem to be wearing. Ooh, welcome back, Infernal. You notice that the majority of them are wearing some form of either robes or minor uniform. Quite a large portion of them are carrying books or staffs or staves, and they're making their way around. There's a few teachers and so on, and you can see that there's what looks to be an elemental on either side. of the on the inside of the academy, which are both standing there. There is one earth elemental on one side, and on the other you can see what looks to be a form of an arcane elemental with like this purple crystal floating between these like tethers of purple energy as it floats there, and they're both like cross-armed and they're both standing there just watching. What would you like to do?
Try to find. Well, I guess I'd try to walk up to the nearest person that looks like a teacher.
Okay. You step over the threshold into the area, and the two elementals immediately just look at you. And you get the sense that going further might cause trouble.
I guess I step back over.
Yeah. As you do, you watch as a individual, a series of guards who are just patrolling. One of them walks over and says, excuse me, do you have business here?
Yes, I was coming to see Professor Flynn.
Do you have permission to enter the property?
I guess not.
I see. What business do you have? Yeah, at which point the other guards, like, they all roll up. There's about 6 of them in all, in this patrol. Variety of races, all wearing what looks to be heavy plate or chain armor. 2 of them carry bows, and the other ones have swords and shields.
I was just coming to ask him about some information about some elemental creatures that he was doing work on. Apparently he's the person to talk to about it.
I see. At which point you see he, like, one of the guards, like, moves up and says, and just walks past you, saying, "Hot hip," and steps over the threshold. You watch as the 2 elementals, like, look at him, and he waves his hand in the air, and both of them go back to, like, their regular stationary position. And you watch as he shouts out, "Hey! Yeah! Someone wants in!" And, like, points behind, and you watch as one of the more official-looking individuals, presumably a teacher, walks over. It's at this point that the rest of you, like, turn the corner and see Malcom currently surrounded by 5 guards.
Is everything all right over here? I'm gonna get down off of
Okay, you get down off of Bhold. They're all maybe a good 2 or 3 foot higher than you.
What do you mean they got get off me? What happened?
Are you letting her down, Bhold?
What happened? I don't know.
Alright, you're making your way to the academy.
Who's on top of me?
Queglod.
I wasn't here for that, so I have no clue what's happening.
You're carrying Queglod. You know you've been doing it for the past, like, 20 years of your life, or something.
Yes, I put her down.
Okay. You put down Queglod there. Fair bit taller than you. And who might you be, might I ask? Talking to you, Queglod.
Just friends of Malcom here. We were finishing up some business and coming to meet him. Is there a problem here?
There shouldn't be. He just wanted into the academy, but he doesn't have permission, so we're seeing what we can do as a compromise.
Ah, I see. Very well then.
At which point the official runs over. Female, human, about 20 to 30, about mid-20s or so. Set of glasses on and holding a book in one hand, says, "How can I help? I've got a lecture, so I've got to go pretty soon. How can I help? What seems to be the problem?"
I was coming here to talk to Professor Flynn.
Okay. Is he expecting you?
Not that I know of. I talked to somebody that was trying to get into the academy, and they said that to find out more information about what I'm looking for, I need to talk to him.
Well, you can organise a meeting. Hold on a second, and she stands there, and you watch as her pupils go like a light blue glaze over, and then come back as she like snaps her fingers. You don't know what she just did. Well, I've sent a message to him, and if he's not busy, he'll get to you. Did you want to join the academy? Because if that's the case, I can take you in now if you'd like.
No. I just needed some information about something.
I see.
And apparently he's the one that I should be talking to about it.
Okay. Well, I've got to run. If he isn't out within 10 minutes, assume he's not coming out.
Alright, thank you.
You watch as she runs off to one of the various buildings. The guards say, "Don't do anything stupid. We're a little bit on high alert due to the recent events you probably know of. But yeah, have a nice day." And they continue on their patrol. About 1 minute passes, 2 minutes pass, 3 minutes pass. You watch as some individuals. There are a variety of students here: tieflings, humans, elves, half-elves, a few dwarves mixed in,
Dwarves.
and that sort of thing. You see some creatures that you don't quite recognize. They have scaly skin. They seem to have one form of a crest across the center of their, across the top of their head. I don't think any of you have encountered them, so if anyone wants to, they can do a nature check to see if they know what these are. Just a basic nature check,
Yeah.
if you would like to. If you're interested. Okay, so you two know that these are Slitharian. They're a race of lizardmen. They have a tendency to live in caves. They don't too often live in the Empire. Quite a large portion of them are either in slavery under the in the Ocean Kingdoms, or they live in the Highlands, alongside of all of the various races that live there.
Oh yeah.
You see these individuals, they're all moving around. There seems to be a contest between some of them. They're casting spells and that sort of thing, just as you do. There seems to be two tiefling individuals who are women who are both over, and they're both sat down. They look over at you, Malcom. As you look over at them, they both turn away and they start giggling to each other.
I guess I'm just gonna stand there.
Stand there as you do. About another 3 minutes pass. People are busy running around, that sort of thing. Before you hear what sounds to be like a crash and a bang, some form of like an explosion. And you watch as a portion of one of the buildings just blows off, as chunks of stone come flying down and they hit portions of the ground. You watch as the two elementals immediately spin and turn to look at what just happened. And we're going to end there, actually.
Oh,
Kaboom.
okay then.
Yeah, kaboom!
Excellent.
Yes, so you've just
Only
watched...
if I picked. No, no.
You've just watched as an explosion took place, and you don't know what's caused it. So...
Bloody chemistry students.
Huh?
Bloody chemistry students. It's always them.
It's always the chemistry student.
Bastards.
They're the ones that blew up the old maths building.
Has that ever happened to any of you, where chemistry's caused like a big problem? Like fires and stuff?
No, but at Southampton
No.
University there was once a massive fire because Southampton University had, for some reason, some white phosphorus weapons there. They were presumably doing research on, and that caused
Yeah,
a
just don't-
massive fire.
You just don't question it. It's just a crazy place, all right? There's just
Oh, Solomon
caches
just
of white
down-
phosphorus just everywhere. No one
Solomon
knows
is just
why.
a nice place. We don't have phosphorus. The weirdest thing we have is a red pod just sat in the sky among buildings.
Oh dear. Alright, well. Next week we will have our session as usual, unless I'm told otherwise by you guys.
Next week sounds fine by me.
Harlan, you okay for next week?
I should be.
Sudz and Infernal, you both okay for next week?
No, I'm
Should
never okay for next week.
So I'll take that as a yes, you're fine. And Bhold, you said you're okay?
Sure, should be.
Okay, cool. So, next session will be next week. Hope you enjoyed, and see you later.
Bye.